Hi everybody, I hope you're having a great day. In this video I'm going to be covering Omega Red. His real name is Arkady Rossovich, and he made his first appearance in X-Men issue number 4, January of 1992. He stands 6 feet 11 inches tall and weighs 425 pounds, having red eyes and blonde hair. Now, Omega Red is a mutant that has superhuman strength, speed, stamina, durability, agility, and reflexes. He also has the ability to secrete deadly pheromones from his body. These pheromones that are called death spores typically result in the weakness or death of humans that are in its immediate vicinity, the side effects being based on the health and proximity to the victims. But although these spores are typically fatal to humans, some superhumans can withstand being exposed to them for long periods of time. Omega Red also has long retractable tentacles that come from his forearms. These are made out of carbonadium, which is an alloy that the Soviet Union accidentally made when they were trying to make true adamantium. Carbonadium is a lot more malleable than adamantium, but while it is much stronger than steel, it's also considerably less durable than adamantium. All this being considered though, it is still practically indestructible. Omega Red can shoot these tentacles from openings in the undersides of his wrists, and he uses these as weapons or to ensnare his victims. It's also worth noting that his naturally enhanced durability is considerably increased due to him wearing red carbonadium armor. This lets him sustain powerful energy blasts and take hits from Wolverine's claws without getting hurt. Now, due to complications from the carbonadium that the Soviets put in him, he actually has the ability and needs to drain life force from victims. He typically uses his tentacles as conduits to administer his lethal pheromones and to absorb his victim's energy force. In addition to using these absorbed energies to maintain his health, he can also use them to increase his body's healing abilities to the point that he can fully heal from a punctured lung within just a few minutes. The only technology that can actually stabilize this condition is known as a Carbonadium Synthesizer, and this effectively neutralizes the poisonous effects of the carbonadium in his body. Omega Red is also a very skilled hand-to-hand combatant and military tactician. He was trained in various types of armed and unarmed combat by the Soviet government and different organizations within the Japanese and Russian criminal underworlds. Being highly intelligent, he also has quickly become a very skilled manager of criminal organizations. Now in his past, Arkady Rossovich was a Russian soldier that had turned into a serial killer. He was caught by his fellow soldiers and ended up being executed, but it astonished his superiors when he survived the execution. Because of this, he was turned over to the KGB, who was trying to do experiments to attempt to create a super soldier serum that's similar to Captain America's. He luckily survives this brutal process and ends up becoming an operative for the Soviet intelligence and the KGB. As time went on, the Soviets considered him too unpredictable and shady to be relied upon, and so at that point they decided to put him in cryogenic suspension until they could figure out a way to control him better. Now, after the fall of the Soviet Union, he was revived by Matsuo Sarayaba, and he led his own renegade faction of ninjas known as the Hand. For a while, Omega Red worked with him, and he was led to believe that Wolverine knew the whereabouts of his Carbonadium Synthesizer. This is what started his efforts to seek out and find Wolverine. While doing this, it put him at odds with the X-Men many times, and in their first encounter, Omega Red captures Wolverine. When the X-Men went to rescue Wolverine, he ended up being injured by Psylocke, and the X-Men defeated him, but he escaped. Over time, he would encounter the X-Men and Wolverine on multiple occasions, and seeking out his own agendas, he proved to be no more loyal to the Hand than he was to the Soviet government. His criminal lifestyle in pursuit of Wolverine led him to ally himself at times with Lady Deathstrike and Sabretooth. This also led to him being in and out of government custody, especially with S.H.I.E.L.D. But on one fateful day due to Romulus, Omega Red is actually transferred to a regular Russian prison, and it was a setup to trap Wolverine. Now the big plan was to have the help of Wildchild and to drop Logan into molten steel. But just as Wildchild was about to complete the plan, he and Omega Red actually got into a fight over who would get the honor of killing Wolverine. While Omega Red and Wildchild are fighting, Logan ends up getting free. Still being distracted, Omega Red kills Wildchild, but is stabbed through the chest by Wolverine with the Muramasa Blade. This blade being specially designed to counter any type of healing factor and prevent any wounds from healing. Subsequent to this, he does appear in Hell and attempts to attack Wolverine, but he's beaten very easily. And even later still, a special organization ends up cloning Omega Red, and from that they made the Omega Clan. This consisted of Omega White, Omega Black, and Omega Red. Omega White is a male clone that had the power to create energy constructs that are similar to Omega Red's tentacles. He could also make himself intangible and thus become immune to physical attacks. Now, Omega Black was a female clone. And in her chest, she had 5 retractable carbonadium tentacles. These she used to afflict people with different diseases. And the third and final member of the Omega clan was Omega Red, who was a male clone that was very close in appearance and powers to the original. Now, due to his powers and abilities and his overall influence on the Marvel Comics universe, for my 1 to 10 rating, I'll give Omega Red a rating of 8, which is unforgettable. I hope everyone enjoyed this video. I'll talk to you next time. Be sure to like and subscribe to The New Sage.